everyone. Welcome to Bunniichii Corner. I am Magpie, and I'm Jules, because Jules is dead again. And with us this week is MS Paint Palette.
Hello. No, hi.
Both are being kept in. MS Paint Palette, welcome to Bunniichii Corner.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
For anyone who does not know who MS Paint Palette is, MS Paint Palette is a Kaigai idol.
Ooh,
What?
what does
Ooh,
that mean?
Kaigai idols. Whatever could that
I
be?
don't know.
A Kaigai idol. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm doing one of those introduction to Kaigai to idols.
Idol
Idol
101,
panel,
welcome.
yeah, the idol panels. A Kaigai idol is an idol typically heavily influenced by East Asian pop groups, and Kaigai, based off of the Japanese word for overseas. Hence, Kaigai idols. Most Kaigai idols, at least here in the States, are primarily influenced by J-pop and idol groups such as The Love Live, Vocaloid, and
Etc.
what, the AKB48. Also, apparently,
Well, most.
there's like a new knockoff version of Vocaloid that's gaining traction. I don't know. I'm too old for that.
Oh, yeah, they have new
Anyways,
voice banks out now, yeah.
no, it's like it's not just new voice banks. It's like a whole new
Oh.
program. I think it's called like Alien Stage.
Oh, no, Alien Sage is like a Korean video web series, and there's
Oh no.
like music and there's videos. You should watch
What?
Alien Stage. I don't think
What?
it's a Vocaloid knockoff unless they are using voice banks.
The way that
No,
they're
Alien Stage is actually
marketing
so
it.
good. You should watch
The way
it.
they're marketing it is very, very Vocaloid. However, I'm deep in my K-pop phase. I'm going back to 2010 Maggie. 2009 Maggie, so sorry.
Not 2010.
2009 with Big
Ooh,
Bang. That's how far back I am. I'm deep. I'm deep into
back
K-pop.
in time.
Going back in time. Right. Anyways, welcome, Akai Guy Idol, to the show. Welcome, welcome,
Woo!
welcome.
Yippee! Thank
Yeah,
you.
welcome. Now, I must ask in the most boring and stereotypical late night host way, how long have you been a Kaigai idol?
Oh, wow. Thanks for asking.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so I officially debuted in July 2023. I sort of decided that I was going to not necessarily like debut at that specific month.
Mhm.
That's just when it happened. But about
Yeah.
6 months prior, I was like, okay, I'm gonna prepare for this, and I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So the like conceptual inception was like early 2023, late 2022, but my actual like first performance as MS Paint Palette was at Otakon in 2023, and since it is now February 2025, it has been a year and some number of months that I do not want to count because math is hard.
You have been an idol, for the sake of being lazy,
Like a year and a
because this
half.
is, yeah, you are an idol. And prior to your debut, did you do any pre-debut performances or anything?
Actually, I did do like one event at
Hmm.
there's a convention called Castle Point Anime that's local
At
to me,
CPAC,
and I did,
yeah.
yeah, okay. So at CPAC I did the masquerade, and like I made my
Hmm.
cosplay, and I sang the song that I also danced to. Like on a record. I
What was
recorded
the song?
myself.
What was the
It was
song?
Beginner Sailing from Love Live.
Yo!
So,
Oh, we love Yo.
my
Isn't she your
oh,
Oshi?
yes, she is. I love
Yeah.
her. I'll send you pictures of my shrine. I
If
mean, my
you,
display.
because I remember at Northwest Idol Fest, you had your Ida bag, and we were solidly
Yup.
focused on Aqua. By the way,
Yup.
Aqua being like ending their activities in
Oh my God, no.
July.
Stop.
Ugh.
I literally would sell I don't even have one, but I'd sell body parts I don't have, if you know what I
To go
mean,
see it. Yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
see them.
yeah.
Like I'm literally I'm cooking. We're cooking. But like
We're
if I don't get
cooking.
to
Yeah.
see them, like I wouldn't lose my job over it, but like anything else is on the table. So, you know.
Hey, hey, if anything, I'll get those like online streaming
It's not
tickets,
the
and we can.
same. It's
I know
not
it's
the
not the
same. I
same.
mean, I'll do that worst
Eh,
case, but like it's not the same.
It's
So if
not
I
the
don't,
same.
so hold on. Hopefully the Gaijin packages work out for little old
Ooh,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hopefully. So, but okay. Yeah.
Those gaijin packages are hard to get into.
Yup.
They're
But
real hard.
I don't want to reveal all my secrets. Not that by the
Of
time this will come out,
course.
it'll be too late. But we're cooking. We're cooking.
Cooking, cooking, cooking.
We're cooking some solutions
If you
to.
figure it out, I'm gonna live vicariously through you.
Thank you. Thank
You,
you. Appreciate it.
as long as you send Anya all my love
I
for
will.
Mari.
I'll do it for all of the American weebs that
Yes.
aren't there that wish they could be. I truly will. So
Ooh.
yeah, Love Live, of course. Who in the idol community didn't have a Love Live start? And honestly, I could actually tell you of a couple people, but like they are
Yeah.
definitely an exception to this because it was so widespread in its peak of popularity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard not to have been exposed to it
Yeah.
at any point as somebody that just like watches anime, period.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, I love Yo. She's my Oshi. I cosplayed her. I honestly she's the only character I still cosplay, TBH, because
Yeah.
why else? Why would I cosplay anyone else?
It's Yoshi.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, back to the question though. I
I already
did
forgot the question I gave you.
I remember it's okay.
Perfect. Oh,
um
LMAO.
Leave me alone, you're so mean. It's not my fault I got sick. It's the damn kids' fault. I hate kids.
That's right.
What I get for spending
Call
time
him
around
out.
them. So,
Call him out.
so yeah, I did pre-Idol debut do a like singing, dancing combo thing at a masquerade, and
Mhm.
I had done masquerade and cosplay performances before, but that was my first and like last solo cosplay performance, I think.
Mm.
Not to shade like that was the last time I ever did that. That's not what I mean. But I don't want it to come off like that. It's just I definitely
Man,
don't like
everyone always
being
out here with the shade.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I just don't like being limited by like cosplay when I am performing. And I don't necessarily mean that in the literal like this costume won't let me move this way. It's just like
if your
I don't know.
costume's not moving in the right way, that's a costume issue.
Well, it's just like I don't
You
know
don't
if
want
you're
to be
not
constrained by the limits of a
yeah,
certain franchise,
right.
because inherently, if the listeners, the peanut gallery, does not understand the concept of Kaigai idols or idols in general, idols are artists.
Right.
This is a conversation that we've had during Northwest Idol Fest. I've had the same type of conversation with Alex Pinku, with Marius from Melancholia.
Mm-hmm.
Kaigai Idol is a type of performance art, and our main source of artistic creation is performance and music. And when
Correct.
you give an artist like boundaries, they're inherently going to want to push on them and
Right.
break out of those boundaries. And if you give yourself little confines, you're never going to be able to reach your true creative potential.
Right.
And that's why you see a lot of Kaigai idols with original concepts. MS Paint Palette, I think, is
Yeah.
pretty self explanatory.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me about like what inspired the name, and I have like a lot of long-winded
Perfect.
explanations, but this is the first time everyone's been like, "Oh, it's pretty clear. It's MS Paint, like
It's an
MS
enhancement.
Paint," which is so refreshing to hear. Like, yeah, it wasn't that deep, but no, it was kind of that deep though. Yeah, so with the name, there's a couple of layers to this. I really
Do
love
it.
technology.
Mm-hmm.
I work in the field of technology full time.
Mm-hmm.
In my, by day, I do that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my by
You
day
mean,
job.
wait, you mean you don't make money off of being an idol?
No,
What?
it's not profitable whatsoever.
Oh my gosh, we'll have to talk about that in a
Oh, I'm
bit.
so excited to, but especially not me, but um,
Damn,
so
man, that
so
was
I loved.
you somehow
Sorry.
shaded.
It's not shade if it's true. Like I'm
Hey,
not
respect the hustle. Respect the hustle. Also,
I
if you are a Kai Guy idol and are not inherently just supportive of people just doing their best and following their passions, gaining that traction, You're not an idol. I'ma say it. Idols were
Oh
very
my gosh.
supportive.
It's not that I'm not
I
supportive of
do.
myself. Compared to, not to compare myself. I'm not,
Let's
but
compare
like
ourselves.
if we're talking about like
Like
even
Paida.
financial, sure. Honestly, I dare guess that Paita is also not making a profit on
Oh,
idling. And if she
absolutely.
is, it's not, it's definitely probably a starving artist lifestyle and being very realistic.
Yeah.
I dare go the same for other idols like, Barry, Phoebe, it's
Mhm.
just it's so niche. We're just
I
not there
know,
yet.
because I know Phoebe definitely does do some subsidized, like, does other jobs. Phoebe is heavily into voice acting as well as doing the VTuber setup.
Right. It's a combination of a lot of
Yeah.
different like ventures coming together to make a living.
Hmm.
That's not just necessarily just the idol by itself,
Yeah.
especially. So, and I dare venture to say, and this is more educated speculation that, Twitch is probably, and VTubing is probably, and
Mm.
probably even more so than voice acting, is probably one of the more like of the profitable activities if we're talking about that.
Yeah.
And I hate streaming, by the way. I don't know what it is. Something like this where I'm yapping is casual, but when I feel like I have to
Yeah.
like entertain a crowd of people from
Oh,
behind
I'm
a screen,
horrible. I'm
it's
horrible at
my social
streaming.
battery is just it drains. After like an hour, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do this no more. Unless it's like my friends and we're on a Discord
Mm.
call, that's different. But like streaming, it is difficult. And I thought a yapper like me wouldn't have an issue, but nope,
Exactly.
it
Because
is
there's
not
dead
easy.
air. There's dead air.
I
Yappers, we yap at each other and we just continue.
Right, but
We'll pick up
I
like
need
little
a echo.
threads.
Right.
Yeah, you need a bit of an echo chamber or someone to like go off of that one point and keep going. With streaming,
Right.
it's just you.
Thanks for coming.
And like the chat will interact, but that's text. And
Right. It's
that
not
time
the
that you're
same.
taking to read whatever the chat is writing out, that's immediately time away that you no longer have that interaction with the chat. And that will take a negative turn for you.
Right. There's no breaks. There's
Nope.
no
You
it's
gotta
so it's
keep
tough.
going.
So like I
Constant.
really commend people
Oh
like
yeah.
Phoebe basically. Like she's kind of crazy for that, not gonna lie. I would probably tell her this to her
No.
face if I had the opportunity. I'd be like, "You're kind of
Yeah.
crazy for this." Like not necessarily in a negative way crazy or
Mm.
but definitely not in a positive either. Just like neutral like that's wild. Like you're wow.
Because like I know that there's quite a few people who are Kaigai idols that focus purely on the VTubing aspect because once you
Mm,
gain enough traction, you can sometimes sign to a company and then that'll be a more consistent paycheck as
yeah.
well as more opportunities. If Peanut Gallery has never dated a starving musician before, hi, hello.
Oh
I
man.
There's the day job where you grind to get money, pay taxes, get that health care.
Not the
Yeah,
taxes.
we gotta. Hey, tax season. Tax season is upon us.
Stop, don't remind me. I could talk a little bit about Kaigai Idol taxes too.
But doing this type of element,
I'm trying
it's
so
killing
hard.
me.
I'm
You're
trying
doing, you're doing
so
such a great
hard.
job. You're
Okay.
doing
Thanks. Oh my
amazing.
God,
Hey, oh
thanks.
my God. But music is pure passion.
Mm,
Whatever you're able to do, like streaming services, because you already have a single out.
I do.
You do, and it is on streaming services. Is it on all streaming services?
It is on all the ones that I know about and probably on some ones I don't know about. Whatever my distributor put it on, It's
Wait, did you
on.
use DistroKid?
Of course I used
Me too.
DistroKid. Whoa. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know wherever the fuck they put it. That's where it is, bro.
I know they
So,
have like
um,
two European streaming services that they put you
mm,
on. Yeah.
yeah, I know my Spotify stats. My song was heard at least one time in Japan, and at least Well, one time in the Netherlands, so
Yeah.
that's interesting. But like, I'm pretty sure I know exactly who these people are. So it's like, oh, well, it was probably just so and so, but still, it was
Yeah.
heard in another country, which is interesting.
It's
Ooh,
super cool.
yeah. But
And when you have your music on a streaming service, you do not make money.
I've literally have never seen a penny from Spotify or anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, well, Bandcamp actually, people have actually like gone out of their way to buy
Mm.
my song on Bandcamp.
Oh,
And now it's like
epic.
three people, and the song costs
Yeah.
like what, a dollar, I think. I don't remember.
Uh,
So
I
it's
can Google it.
like whoa, like I got 95 cents. Like that's crazy. Like that's more than
Yeah.
Spotify would give you for like 100,000 streams, I'm sure,
Yeah.
probably. So which is, nice. It's nice that, people choose to support me in that way. But, usually like merch, like Checky,
Hmm.
which, for the Peanut Gallery, that's like a Polaroid that's commemorative usually.
Yeah.
Not always commemorative. Sometimes there's like gotcha or like random ones you could pull that are pre-made. But, the
Yeah.
Polaroids, like,
We
the
got
ROI,
gotcha.
the return on investment are
But
are really
also
good.
keeping in mind that those Polaroids, even then with Checky, you need to sell a solid amount before you're gonna get out of the red.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, it's just I'm less red now, you know what I mean? So,
Dude, I
plus
am
it's
so
nice.
in the red. For Magpie, the Kaigai idol bit, so in the red.
I would
I
have to
have
do some
done
of the math
so
on
many.
mine, but I mean, I've also gotten like donations and stuff
Yeah.
too. Like actually, I did a donation campaign and
Hmm.
I had at least one person wail for me and I was like, and
Oh,
it wasn't someone I
hell yeah.
knew. I mean, I knew them, but not like it wasn't like my mom, you know? Like
Yeah.
even if my mom wails for me, like, "Oh my
Epic.
God, I got a wail." Whoa, but like no. Like it would and it wasn't my mom. I was like, "Whoa." And but basically in that donation package, like
Hmm.
I said, if you donate this amount, I will like cover any song you want. So the cost of like me mixing that will probably take most of that money, but
Hmm.
still, it was so exciting that somebody like liked me enough that they wanted to see me cover a specific song and were
What was
willing
the
to like
song, by the
put
way?
that investment. Oh, it's not out yet, but the song is the
Oh.
English name of it is Untitled Chorus. It is a Chica Idol song. So
Hmm.
I will work on it hopefully when I am not coughing like this, because I have so much to work on that's even more urgent than that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like it's not at a pause because the grind don't stop,
Right.
but with respect to my health, that things are definitely, you know,
Hmm.
not behind. I try to schedule things reasonably these days and not try to
Yeah.
put myself in a position, but we're crunching for sure. We're con crunching, if you
Yeah.
will.
Oh, not the con crunch.
Yeah, Katsucon's coming up. We'll talk more about that later, I'm sure.
Ooh.
But
Of
yeah,
course.
idols, idols are not. It's not a profitable. I don't. I dare
No.
even call it a gig. But you know what? I
Hey, a
don't.
gig is a gig is a gig.
Right. But I don't like want it to be like hear me out. Let
Right.
me cook. Would I
Cook, man,
love to
cook.
all right, would I love to break even on
Uh,
the cost it takes to like travel to a convention, perform the song, have people
mm,
like help me mix and do this and do that? Because like realistically, like I cannot do everything by myself and work a 40
right.
hour a week job and like
Mhm.
maintain my household and my life and my dog and my partner. All he maintains me, really. I'm the high maintenance one. But like, right. Honestly, he's a big help in like taking care of shit so I can like hone in when I get stressed on the creative stuff, you know?
Mm,
So
mhm.
shout out to shout out to Twitch user Free Horchata.
Not the Twitch user shout out. After you
How
were just like, man, streaming? Nah.
well, I mean, Twitch user, it's his thing is the same on every platform. I picked Twitch over, I don't know, whatever else I could say. Yeah, that's my partner, LMAO. I feel like it's not much of a secret. Sometimes I refer to him as Mr. Paint, which is funny. It's a joke on how like sometimes people think I'm Miss Paint, and I'm like,
I
no,
remember
stop.
asking when I met you that. I was just
I'm
like, is it
so
MS or Miss?
sorry. I mean,
See,
I appreciate the
I was
asking
the one
though.
who was just like, I feel like I hope it's not me being old, but I wonder if it's like MS, like Microsoft Paint palette. That would be
No, it absolutely
hilarious.
is.
Hup, hup, hup.
I feel like people that are like chronically online, like I don't know, the average Idol fan would kind of like put it together, but and I knew
Mm.
some people wouldn't put it together, but I definitely underestimated what people would think it is and isn't. But whatever, it's fine. I chose my grave. I'm going to sleep in it. I'm gonna own up to it. So, but like I think as a joke, it's funny to call my partner Mr. Paint.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't think of a better name. He's not really my producer son. Like, I don't know. That feels weird. I'm uncomfortable kind of saying that,
Mm. Hmm.
especially like I don't actually even speak Japanese. I'm not Japanese. And like,
Non
maybe if I
deska.
like, right, like if I was maybe fluent in the language or something, I'd be a little more comfortable being like,
Ande.
producer son. Like, I don't know, but like, I'm
Go
not. Like,
Minasai.
right. I'm like a Gomena sorry kind of girl, Like, I'll be like Daijo K, like I don't, I'm right,
大丈夫ですか？何？どうして
yeah,
の？
I always feel really
MS
weird,
Paint
like
Palette もしもし。
no, no. Hi, so desu ka?
おー。
I mean, I got by in Tokyo, but like I also have a
Hey.
phone with Google Translate, so like I mean, if I needed something that wasn't like a basic word I learned from like an anime or something, like, and most of the stuff I learned in anime, you can't use in everyday life. Like, when am I gonna go
Right.
to the 7-Eleven and be like, "Sugoi!" Like, I know I
すごいな。
can't. Nobody talks like that.
What? You mean my anime lied to me?
Eh? Like,
Eh? What?
oh my goodness, sorry, guys.
Hey man, you're getting the witch cackle. I'm having a great time.
I mean, I need to pour myself some more tea
Good call.
while we
Good call.
spill this tea.
Wowie wow wowie.
Ha.
Get it.
Got him! Ah!
Ah!
Okay,
What are
sorry.
those?
Okay, now we're done here. We had to end it with the what are those? That was a line that didn't need to be crossed.
What do you
Anyway.
mean? What do you mean?
But
Come
yeah, back
back.
to like back to like the profitability of it. Like I
Mhm.
feel like the second the need to profit off of something comes into play, it's like a direct proponent of art because
Yeah.
art doesn't sell usually unless it appeals to the masses to some degree.
Hmm.
And once you've found something with like a commercial success, I'm not saying that invalidates its status as art, but like, I mean, think about all these TV shows that are like being made to look like, oh wow, we're finally getting like, representation of this, but it's really just to sell to
It's
people because people,
performative.
it's
Yeah.
performative, right? And like, I don't really want that, especially for like my original stuff. If cons don't like it, that fucking sucks for them. It really does,
Yeah.
because they're missing out on a kick-ass performer. Like,
Uh-huh,
I mean, my
yeah.
song Enough, it is not a family-friendly song. I'm not gonna make
No.
a fucking family-friendly song. I'm not supposed to be a family-friendly idol, and I feel
Right.
like I'm definitely an alternative idol in that regard. And um,
Ayo. You and
that
me,
definitely
baby.
that definitely like hinders some of the opportunities, especially like locally, because they're like,
Mm.
this is a family-friendly convention, and which is interesting because I feel like most conventions are not
Mm.
family friendly because most anime is not family friendly to begin with,
Yeah.
Like, think about all the types of like risque cosplays you'd see at an average family friendly convention,
Ooh.
Um, you know what I mean?
You mean all of
So
those drinking games I've had and bets with how many times can we see genitalia at family friendly conventions is a lie? Huh?
LMAO. Eh?
What? Ande.
So yeah, it's like, okay, I get it. I respect the rules. I am not
Oh.
going to, I get it. If that's not the kind of performer you want, that's
Mm.
fine. I'm definitely
Yeah.
a performer, at least when it comes to my original songs that like maybe you put me later in the evening. Not that I have that kind of clout, but like, whatever. Maybe one day I will, or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Like especially like a lot of Japanese songs, like I could
Hmm.
probably sing whatever in Japanese and nobody would know either way, you know?
Yeah.
Unless you are like actually fluent in Japanese, which, I dare say is a small, maybe a fraction of a percentage of an anime con attendee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, let's be real, especially now, it's become so mainstream in America. Maybe
Yeah.
like 10, 20 years ago, maybe that percentage is a little bit higher just because the people
Ouch.
going, it's like it's just a smaller number. So like, oh yeah, maybe. But now,
Why you
forget
calling me
it.
out like that, man?
I'm
Like,
so sorry. I mean, it's not my fault you
I'm old?
apply.
It's okay.
It's okay. I mean, I'd rather hang out with someone old than a child, so we're
You
good.
know what? I feel like that was supposed to come across as a compliment. I don't know.
It is. It is. I mean,
Old.
do you want to interview like someone fresh out of high school? I don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
exactly. No, nobody
no.
does. I don't even want to have like
That's
a
called cringe.
conversation.
No, I don't
I
know
don't
how to
even,
talk.
I don't know. Right.
I totally understand like wanting to have that distance between family friendly and being more true to yourself. For me, I would not market myself as a family friendly idol either. If you put a mic in my hands, the I'm gonna swear like a sailor,
Right.
and you can very much see the influence that being a scene kid and being into punk rock has had on my stage persona.
Oh, me
Cause
too.
I'm
I mean,
like, ah, what the fuck is up? Bunniichii Corner! You
yeah,
wanna
I'm definitely
fucking
a big
go?
fan.
Hell yeah! Let's go!
I'm definitely a big fan of like 2000s pop punk, and I've been in
Yeah.
the pit several times. I don't think I've ever crowd surfed, but like, I like my feet on the ground.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
more so when I was a little bit younger. I don't do a lot of concerts these days because
Mm.
I guess I'm just busy trying to be an idol, I guess. And,
The money's
you
gotta
know,
go
I'm
somewhere.
LMAO, right? So, but I mean, I even try to sneak in just straight up pop punk music into my sets because, like, again, Kaigai idols, it's about the performance
Mm-hmm.
style and less about the
Yeah.
genre of music. So, like, why should I be limited to like performing a specific genre? And like, I understand like a lot of people get into idols for like that. For the orthodox positivity that you get from like a
Mm.
classic J-pop idol, and trust me,
Yeah.
I love that. That's what Love Live is. It's
Yeah.
very much that, and I love it, don't get me wrong, and I am okay performing songs like that, but for the most part, like I want to show who I really am as a,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, Chica Kaigai idol or whatever. Chica being underground, if you're not familiar with the
Yeah.
term, and we can insert a
Cause
little peanut gallery vocab for that.
Peanut
um,
Gallery, Underground Idols, aka Chica Idols. They're the type of idols that you cannot find on most streaming services. They are going to be original concept groups. And because they're underground, they're able to get away with a lot more experimental concepts. In Japan, even with Chica idols, there is still a heavy emphasis on cute factor, but you can still see quite a bit more edgy, alternative, even goth type concepts. It's hard to get there, but once you're in on the J-pop idol scene, you will oh gosh, I just knocked to the mic. You will awaken a whole new world of idols.
wow.
Wow.
Oh, what's the it's the
Wow.
audio I'm talking about though.
Yeah, the
Wow.
one
Okay.
from what was it? It's from a specific anime which I saw like a
Fairy tale?
rewatch.
I don't
No,
know.
it's not from Fairy Tail. It's from dang it, it's a shoujo anime. Uh
Girl, I don't know.
Kami-sama Kiss.
Oh, yeah,
There
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, producer Maggie. You're welcome, Maggie.
Producer son. So yeah, I mean, I still love doing covers though. I'm okay doing a
Mm.
show of just all covers if I must. I only have one original song for
Yeah.
now. Oh, for now I only have one.
Whoa.
But
You know, I've noticed with your set list because you do a really great job. You do something that I enjoy seeing independent artists do, where if they are going to be performing, they'll show their set list ahead of time.
mm,
I like to see that because then if someone's never heard you perform before, they can see the set list and be like, okay, I know this song, or I enjoy this song, I enjoy the vibe.
mm.
I can kind of see ahead of time if this is someone I'd like to look into. I think it's a great marketing strategy as someone who was in a band prior to doing the whole Kaigai Idol
Mm-hmm.
bit, which we did quite a few covers when we were first starting out, and that helped gain that traction, helped gain the audience. But I've noticed in quite a few of your recent set lists, you have been bringing more like the 2000s pop punk, like you brought forward some like My Chemical Romance covers, and I'm like, yes, MCR, get
I feel like a little goblin, like, my
it.
precious. Like, I don't know.
My precious, yes. Yeah, no, it's really cool. And ultimately, having these types of Kaigai idols, I think, is able to emphasize what true idol culture is, which is supporting someone following their passion.
Right. I
Because
think it's,
idols can be like the whole idol culture can be boiled down to by outsiders as just cutesy girly pop with a very weird fan base.
hell
But
no. I am the word fan base.
me too, hello. But with a very weird parasocial relationships, right? But
Mm,
also it gets a bit deeper than that because most of these idols are just going with it, using their own money, have very minimal resources, and the main driving source of getting that traction is their passion and the energy in their stage presence, which is a big thing where if you don't have a stage presence, that's going to be one of the biggest parts that you have to work on to
right.
get yourself ready to do anything.
And I feel like that also separates, like, if you're thinking, oh, well, what about these just regular indie musicians? And it's definitely like again, it's about what you do on the stage. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even, like, I've seen a lot of indie bands that they just kind of stand and play, and people are like, wow, so
Oh,
good. But they're probably also composing their own
yeah.
music or something like that, doing something different. Whereas,
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I know for me, I personally, for the instrumentals on
Mm-hmm.
Enough, my first single, I
Yeah.
got that commissioned and like, but I put together I did the melody. So like the actual
Yeah.
pa 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 pa, like I wrote that top line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, here's my top line and like here's the idea of what I like want the instrumentals to sound like. I just don't know how to like do it on the computer. Like
Yeah.
I just don't I don't know. I don't have time even to be on my pooter and just put it all together. But there are plenty of idols out there that I know of that will use like either completely original instrumentals or like
Mm-hmm.
there are some free type beats out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what a type beat is. Maybe insert
I
for peanut
do.
gallery for a type beat because I feel like there's definitely people out there that don't know what a type beat is for sure. If you're not like
No, yeah.
involved in music like that, but
If you're
and
not
those are
if you're not a musician or into music production, you're not going to know a lot of these terms.
right,
And they're even though people like to say, "Oh, it's very beginner friendly, anyone can learn." It's actually not. There's a huge learning curve with a lot of like any form of music production.
right.
I know how to do it because I was in a well-known reggae band in Texas for 4 years. We did our own composition of songs. We did our own production. We did all of that. And by extent, that's how I was able to learn. For my song
Yeah.
Brain Melt, I wrote the lyrics. I did have help from a close friend to make sure that there was a solid flow. We collaborated on the instrumentals, had someone else work on mastering and mixing just because I wanted a clean product. But the big part about music is collaboration because then you're able to get new ears and have like not too many cooks in the kitchen, but when everyone has a shared mindset and goal and understanding of what you want that ending project to be, you're able to get it together in a decent amount of time. How long did it take you to get your single done, if you don't mind
Ooh,
my asking?
it was a slow process for a couple of
Mm,
reasons, but I remember in maybe February of
mhm.
2023, like reaching out in a Discord server and I was like, I'm hiring a producer. This is going to be a idol song, but like with a bit of a J-rock element to it
Yeah,
because like if you've listened to my
which you
song,
can
it's
hear.
not right. It's not a fully, especially even structurally, it's not a like a proper idol song, but
Mm-mm.
it has I feel like the melody is whereas the instrumental kind of pulls in a little bit more of a little bit of rock and a little bit of like I don't know
It's very
chip
alternative
tuney
rock.
soundedy.
It's like
Yes,
alternative
yeah.
indie rock. I'd say probably like very heavy emphasis on late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, like if you're familiar with like it's not really math rock, but like you
Yeah.
can kind of hear the math rock influence in there. And when I was looking at my producer, I was listening to like, they had a portfolio of their own compositions they've done,
Yeah.
and I was listening to his stuff and I'm like, okay, like he gets it because this is like not I don't want to say it sounds similar, but like it had the right energy and vibe and style of what I wanted for my thing. And
Yeah.
like his name is Mika, and he did like I cannot express enough a phenomenal job of like putting my vision into reality.
Mhm.
But it took me and him some time to go through it because, he was in, I think he still is, but like at the time he had school and we knew
Yeah.
summer vacation would be a good time to actually like do the meat and potatoes of it.
Hmm.
So we like locked it on early on, and then at that point my lyrics were mostly done, but I also
Hmm.
still had to like go in and record vocals and put together other things,
Yeah.
and I was also performing a lot in that period.
Hmm.
Not performing a lot, but like I was doing not 2023, did I say 2024? Early February 2024.
Mm.
Edit that later. But so I was
I'm not
performing a
editing it.
lot. Oh my God. I was performing a lot during that time too. I
Yeah.
like when I said performing a lot and I was like, wait, I said the wrong year. LMAO. Um, so it was like, you know, I'm like, we're gonna lock it in. We're gonna agree that this is the time period when you're gonna get all the stuff you need so you can start. And, I follow through. So
Mm.
I'm like, I'm sorry for reaching out to you like 4 months earlier than we're actually gonna do this. But so by the time we really started, it was
Hmm.
June,
Mm.
and it was done by like August, September. So
So you were pushing it. You were going.
oh yeah, I remember like I always planned to have it done at that
Mm.
point, and then I knew from the beginning I wanted to release it that specific day in October so I could tell people at No Whiff about it. And apparently a lot of other idols also had the same smart idea to release a song around that time so they
I
could promote
remember
it.
because I was super excited for your single, and I was just like, everyone is doing this the same like week slash day.
Because we're all smart, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not even like mad about it. I feel like you could definitely be like, oh, well, now, because these other idols are releasing something that's going to overshadow me. But like, I don't care. I feel
Oh,
like
it
that's
was
actually
great.
an
I felt like it
opportunity
was
to be
comeback
like,
season with all my K-pop groups. I was just like,
yeah,
yes,
it's a
yes,
great
everyone.
opportunity to be like, oh wow, all of my friends are releasing these new things, so you can
Mm,
listen to a bunch of new things like all at
yeah,
once. And I don't know, I'm always supportive of other people, like just like just because somebody else that's like a much bigger idol than I am is releasing something, that doesn't mean like nobody's gonna listen to my thing. That's not really
yeah.
how it works. Anyone can like listen to anything on a streaming service right now.
Mm,
So I don't know.
yeah,
It was kind of fun. I was like, wow, everybody else was smart like me.
yeah,
So, but it just shows that we all kind of like care and like we want the right people and the right audience to like see
right.
it. Like it's not really about how popular can we get this. It's like I just want to make sure that, you know, the right kind of person, like the person that knows what an idol is and kind of gets the
Mm,
concept
mhm,
and vibes with it is listening to it, like if you
yeah,
don't like it, like that's cool, but I really want my music to reach the people that I know like would fuck with it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um and that's kind of hard. And I do think like, recently I've been being very brave and showing my music to people that are like not idol people, and they're like,
Mm,
"Wow, I fuck with this." And I was like, "Really? Oh my God." Because I don't know. I think enough in particular is very relevant to
mhm,
today,
yeah. No,
because
I
nothing
get
ever
you.
feels like it's enough in a lot of different ways and capacities. So,
Yeah. I truly enjoy your song because it's so applicable. You're able to apply it, and I think a wide amount of people, especially outside of the idol scene, can identify with the theme that's in the lyrics and really have that impact on them, which
right.
I think is definitely what you were going for, sharing those thoughts and
Yeah,
feelings.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's literally what, like, I think to myself, and, like, I kind of put it, in a way that made sense rhythmically with the song. But,
Yeah.
like, beyond that, like, my lyric writing process, it was literally me word vomiting and then editing it. Like,
I'm
I'm
glad it's
not a
not
great
just
writer.
me.
No, truly, I'm much better at editing something once I've gotten something down than like
Mm,
going in with the mindset that I'm like, okay, let's write a song. Like it really
yeah.
started as a word vomit, and then I was kind of like, huh, like, once the melody I got in my head kind of got in there, I was like,
Mhm.
this is catchy as fuck. Like I could do something
Yeah.
here, even though these are like my actual like thoughts and my actual like shit I cry about at night.
Mm.
Like wow, there's something here. And oh my God, I remember because it's so like it's very straightforward. There's not a lot
Yeah.
hiding behind it.
No, yeah.
Unless you want it there to be like, interpret it however you want. But I'm a straightforward person. It's a straightforward song. I
Hmm.
think it represents me as a performer also very well. I'm a very no bullshit person. I try to be a
Yeah.
no bullshit performer because I don't know, I think it's inspiring in a weird backwards way to like be able to commiserate with somebody and
Hmm.
also be able to see like that person that feels the same way you do, like finding, I don't want to say success, but like personal like fulfillment in being able to perform and write this song and put it
Yeah.
out there. And it's like, well, this person feels the same as me. And like, also at the same time, they're able to like kind of overcome some of those feelings at the same
Mm.
time. And
Yeah.
I think it's a different way in which an idol can do that performance style and still be
Hmm.
inspiring. I, a lot of people will be like, yeah, positivity is also punk rock, and I agree to some
Yeah.
degree. But I don't know. For me, um, when I'm positive about something, you'll know. But like,
Yeah.
I wasn't able, at least currently, I'm not able to write something that is positive that actually
Mm.
feels genuine for me
Genuine.
personally.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, I'm not that positive of a person, and for the most part, most people are not genuinely that positive, and
Yeah.
that's why idols, in the orthodox sense, it's a good way to like escape into it because it is so positive and cheerful.
Hmm. Which
But
I would
I don't.
actually argue is one of the more dangerous sides of not
Mm,
only supporting idols, but also being an idol. Because
right,
then you get forced into that positivity, and that can be a toxic mindset.
right.
When
At the
I
same
did,
time,
when I did like my technical, I'm gonna count it as my pre-debut now, since I've come out with my own original stuff and kind of solidified how I want to have my stage persona be. My pre-debut was way over the top, like the most bubblegum type Love Live
hmm
persona bit. And then the more that I got to be on stage, the more I started reverting back to my very chill, but also like more punk, let's get energy. I'm a go about. It's not always about the super positive vibes, which
right,
which is why music is so great though, because then it's this wonderful art form that you can share any type of message or feeling with. Like
right,
my song Brain Melt, it is by no means positive. I
right.
am angry about technology and how everyone's value has become so focused on the numbers and this whole
Mm.
game where what is human interaction. my
Yeah, I
my
hate the
song
idea
is
of.
that was like a hard launch. It was just like a haha.
Supply, here's your song. But I
Haha,
understand what
fuck
you
it.
mean about like that quantitative aspect, like how follower count these days or like counts and view
Hmm.
counts, and it's like I'm like, man, I don't even some once in a while I check what my views are for my
Mm.
song just
Hmm.
when I'm like, I don't know, bored or curious. But
Yeah.
I really don't think about it because, like, I'm not promoting it. I'm not trying to make it go viral. I mean, like, if it
Right.
does, I'll be like, yippee, it went viral, wow. But, like,
Woo.
I'm not really going out of my way to do
Yeah.
it.
No.
Maybe one day I'll be like, hey, use my song in your video and maybe it'll go viral. I don't know. But, like, because I mean,
It's all
promo
about
is
that
important.
networking.
Word, yeah.
Networking, baby.
But like I don't know, it's just not a priority for me because again, I think commercial success is the antithesis of, successful art.
Which
And
inherently is
it
a very punk mindset. Oh, look at you, MSK
wow.
Palette. Oh,
Wow.
true punk right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stand.
And back to the positivity, like something I like about my song, I guess, is like
Mm,
if you aren't paying attention to the words, and there's a lot of people that listen to music and don't pay attention to the
yeah.
lyrics, it does sound like a happy song. But like
Hmm.
I kind of love that. I love happy songs with like serious lyrics. It's like because
Mm.
that's how I feel I am. I am genuinely, I mean, look at how I've been talking this past interview. Like I'm genuinely like
You're
I don't
animated.
know, like
Passionate.
animated, yes, and I'm passionate.
Yeah.
And I like that on stage too, which I think is like my stage presence as an idol. But like underneath that, there's like a complexity that like, especially with traditional idols, you don't always see. Whether it's because they're like signed and they can't say X, Y, or Z, or
Yeah.
like not. And I think there are some idols that can pull off that like positivity pretty well. Like with Phoebe.
Hmm.
you really feel her
Oh
heart and
yeah.
soul with her stuff. But then there's also artists like Paida, where I think Paida does this in a more subtle way, where she gets her
Hmm.
messages about like environmentalism across in her music while still just being
Yeah.
like, look at my idol song, you know what I mean? So I really enjoy that. I'm definitely less subtle. I don't want to be subtle with it, you know?
You want to be in your
Um,
face.
all right. And some people are genuinely really want to like embody that traditional idol sense because
Hmm.
of how it's like helped them in their lives and like
Like
you could
what?
feel it, you know? But
Melody
just
Parade, when they were
yeah.
active, they were really good on that. Non-sweet.
No, don't talk to me about non-sweet right now. I'm not
Don't.
okay.
No, I
We're
know
not
I
okay.
know we're not okay, but like when
What?
they but there's definitely groups and soloists that really encapsulate this extreme positivity and uplifting messages
Right, because
with their
they
music.
inherently believe it within themselves, and
Hmm.
like I don't know, that's just not me, and I don't think that makes me a bad idol. Also,
No,
like
yeah.
being in the States, like we have such an opportunity
Yeah.
here to like create idols the way we want it to be.
Hmm.
So, like I'm just not gonna follow the mold, and if
Yeah.
people don't like it, that's fine. Don't like it, I guess. Like I'm sorry, like my original single is like only slightly woteable. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna design a song specifically for other people to enjoy because
Yeah.
that's not my art. You know, there's lots of things I could cover that other people enjoy and perform it just to,
Yeah.
you know, make it a
Oh
crowd pleaser, you
man.
know? So why would I
Man,
write
I
something
wanna.
when there's already crowd pleasers out there for me to
Right.
do?
Man, have you been able to perform your song yet live?
I did at in September at Aiden's
Mm.
Birthday Live, actually pre-release.
Ooh.
Since then, I've performed it this January at so it was technically an open mic, but
Mm.
this open mic in particular invites a featured artist to do like a halftime set.
Okay.
So I did that featured artist slot because
Oh,
I went to
nice.
just, yeah. So what happened was I went to just the regular open mic and I was like, whatever,
Mm.
I'll sing it. Whatever. I
Yeah.
felt the vibe was good enough for it. And then the guy running it was like, "Hey, do you want to come back as like a featured artist?" And I was like, "Oh my God,
Heck
will we?"
yeah.
Ding! So that's how I got that. So I had like a full half-hour set in the
Oh,
middle of an open
nice.
mic event. Yeah.
Oh,
So I
heck
sang it there.
yeah.
And it did well. I had some friends that like
Mm.
I met at this place there that were supporting me but like I
Yeah.
don't know, the normies liked it. I was like, wow, the normies like it. That's
When the
crazy.
normies like it, that's where you're like, ooh, we cooking?
I'm like, I guess it really is a good song. Like,
Yeah.
um, we I say we, but meaning my producer Mika and we worked really hard on it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and
Dude,
I
that's the
want it to be
dream.
heard. Yeah,
That's a shame.
so
I've still yet to be able to perform Brain Melt live. I'm waiting for the day I get to do that because I even had like a full fan chant ready,
oh yeah.
and like
Enough is
where
getting a
people.
fan chant version soon.
Oh hell yeah. I'm excited for that. But yeah, no, for like the bridge and everything, there was a full fan chant that I had made and like I was hoping when I first had released it, I had applied for a few local idol fests, Sadly I didn't get in, but I was just like, man, there's gonna be really cool things that we can all do. I
You
wanna
just
do
gotta
this.
travel around, which is, easier
Oh,
said than done,
Texas
but
is so big.
that's fair. Yeah. The Northeast is smaller and well connected to each
Yep.
other. Like we have trains kind of sort of
Yeah.
up here.
To be fair, I also shot myself in the foot by blacklisting myself in
I
Texas.
mean, yeah,
I
I
reap
don't know
what
what to
I
tell you.
sow. I reap what I sow.
Well, you could always try doing what I did and like performing it as an idol for the
Mm.
normies because like why should my idol thing be restricted to conventions and shit,
Oh yeah, I've
And
solidly
like
looked into that, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll do it. Who could do
yeah,
it? Me? It could be
fuck it, we
me.
ball,
Hell
That's
yeah, that's more
uh
normies to bring into idol space.
right.
More brain rot.
There's definitely people that could like idols and just doesn't know about the idea or the concept yet because I mean, unfortunately, I think we're still sort of, I think, associated with just Love Live and
Love
anime.
life. Yeah.
And I think even conventions have not fully figured out, depending on the con, I should say. They
Yeah.
haven't fully figured out that like, no, we're like actual musicians that are like
Yeah.
inspired and maybe we'll sing songs like I'll sing in any song, sure. I love a
Mm.
lot of them, you know. We got our inspiration from somewhere, but like no,
Yeah.
we are actual like
Artists.
mu artists and
Yeah.
performers. Even if we're not doing original stuff and are just doing covers, like, they want to be taken seriously, I think, like it's so tough to want to be taken seriously, but then
Mm.
put out and perform in a way that is not like I don't want to say non-professional, but it's not professional in like necessarily like like I didn't go to fucking Juilliard kind of
Right.
professional,
Like, we're
like
not
that's not
professional musicians that we've had the classical training. We're doing
right.
this out of passion. Most of us are self taught, either with vocals, with instruments, with any form of recording,
Dancing too, shit.
dancing, choreography, costume design, marketing,
Like
because
it's
whether you
supposed
like it
to
or
be
not,
ragtag,
yeah,
It's part of
the
the
whole
it's part of
bit
the appeal.
is you want to you want to root for the underdog.
Right.
And Kaigai idols are all underdogs.
Right.
You find one that speaks to you, or you find some that you're like, I really like what you're doing, and you root for them. Whether it's with like supporting them monetarily, supporting them with promotions, or just going and supporting by being there.
Supporting by asking them to be on your podcast. LMAO.
Hey, yo. Good job, me. I did it. Thanks.
You did it.
I'm helping.
Yippee.
Yay! Does that mean I'm
Sometimes
like the best fan ever of
no,
MS Paint Palette?
I think the person that wails for me is the best fan
Dang
ever
it.
with all due
Dang it.
respect.
Dang it. I was
Also,
trying.
I've
I
been
was
interviewed
trying.
actually it's funny. I've done a couple of interviews now. I did
No!
one for
I'm going
the
farther down the list.
no, I'm so sorry. I did one for the Idolize.
Oh, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
really a podcast, but I did one with Idolize, and then
Huh.
I did one. Somebody from the local county college interviewed me also,
What? Oh, that's so
and I was like,
cool.
"Whoa!" I was like, "Sure, you can interview me for your school paper about idols. That's sure, yeah, why not? I don't care."
Yeah.
But obviously, they're all different in their own ways. So,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Idols.
無敵の笑顔でラスメディア。
Huh.
知りたいその秘
Tell me.
密ミステリアス。
There you go.
受けてるそこさえ
Oh,
彼
that's
女の
the
エリア。
Oshino code.
完璧で嘘つきな君は天
Hey,
才的な
hey.
アイドル様。
Woo!
Not the free performance. No, I'm kidding. Can't even
I
talk.
was.
I struggle.
I think you're doing great. I think you're doing
Oh, thank
great,
you.
including with the coughing.
Stop. So mean. Stop. I'm sensitive. Maybe I should write a song about how I'm really, really fucking sensitive and emotionally fragile. That'd be a good one.
Ooh, what
But
would that go? Would that what type of genre do you think you would go with that?
I
Just
actually think
spitballing here.
I'd go full traditional idol song with that one.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
hi, I'm emotionally fragile. Like, I think that's what that kind of song needs. But like, oh my God, for my,
To have that
but
dissonance, that'd be
yeah,
fun.
that's what I'm all about, baby.
Woo! I
But
want
yeah,
whiplash. How do you get gigs?
usually I just apply. At a convention will be like, let's perform, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, okay. So then I go perform at the convention if they accept me and my silly little shenanigans. So, I've been looking to do more outside
Mm.
of convention performances.
Mm-hmm.
So far, my out of convention performances, the way I've gotten them have varied greatly.
Yeah.
Um, so my first one was at a Asian supermarket and let me cook.
No,
So
here's every all the coolest, most random shit happens at Asian supermarkets, so I am always down to clown with an event at an Asian supermarket.
right. So we have a supermarket in New Jersey called
Hmm.
Mitsuwa, and
Oh,
it's
we have
yes,
one
I don't know.
here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's now I don't have to explain it, but it's an Asian supermarket. That's what it
Yeah.
is. And they have this specific location at least has a summer festival slash summer matsuri, and
Mm-hmm.
where they use part of their parking lot as like a bit of a street fair, so they have like the food vendors there.
Yeah.
Some of the vendors are the ones that they have like inside the store, you know?
Hmm.
So they have that, and they had live performances this year, and they of course did like the standard taiko drumming thing, but
Of course, you gotta. You
right, and they
gotta
but
do the drumming.
right, but they also did like a cosplay contest, and like I don't know, I signed up as an idol and they took
Yeah.
me and one other idol, and I was like,
Oh.
really? Like,
Yeah.
okay. And it was interesting because like the crowd was nothing like performing for a crowd that is like used to the idol thing, like at
Right.
all. Like the audience interaction was like non-existent because everyone was in line
Beautiful.
for food
Yeah.
and they were listening to me. They weren't not paying attention to me,
Right.
but they were, enjoying the music rather than like participating it. And
Yeah.
like I clocked the vibe and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do a lot of like crowd work and stuff. And
Yeah.
it was only like a 15-minute slot, but like, hey, I took it and I
Hey, you
had fun
gotta
at the
take what you
festival.
got. Yeah.
And like again, this was totally voluntary, by the way. I have never gotten paid to sing ever in my life.
Most of the
So
time for gigs, you are not getting paid.
yes, for this kind of
Yeah.
thing,
For
especially.
for
So
idols, very rarely is there gonna be
yeah,
pay.
yeah. So unless you're
I
like
know
a
the
big
exact
idol,
vibe. I know the
right?
exact vibe you're talking about, by the way, because the only cosplay contest that I ever won was at a Mitsuwa,
LMAO.
and it was in the grocery store parking lot.
Hey, maybe it was like a very similar event then. Maybe other Mitsubishi
I, I'm
locations do
I'm
this.
assuming it was probably like the same exact because it was also a summer festival type deal.
Wow.
But
Huh.
man, hey, getting money was nice.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
was just
I had
vibing.
fun doing it. It was different. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, it was my
And
first
to
time.
be fair, I would
Hmm.
argue that that's probably the most genuine idol experience too, because with a lot of chica idols, they're either A at one really small rink-a-dink little venue, or B, they are making the rounds. They're
Yep.
gonna go to a local store that's opening up. They're gonna go to the high school. They're gonna be going all
Yeah.
over, doing little guerrilla lives in the park, doing what you gotta do to get your music out there. Just have a little roaming mics or singing a cappella and be like, here, take her CD, take her
Yeah.
CD. Thank you.
Well, I at least had a microphone and a speaker, which was
Hey.
nice. So that's a dub for
Yeah.
sure. Um, so yeah, and then second outside of con experience
Mm.
was the Aiden birthday live that I was just invited to by
Yes.
Aiden to perform at, and um, you could say this fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side
Mm.
of the coin you're on, but it seems, a lot of these outside opportunities like are one, I don't want to say person, but one party like putting it together and inviting,
Yeah.
people they know and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's inviting the friends.
right. And on the one hand, it's like, yeah, invite the friends, but I also see how that can create like a negative pattern of like
Hmm.
only my friends can do this kind of performance. But like, I was very grateful and thankful to be invited, and I
Hmm.
did my thing, and I performed my original there the first time, and I like
Hell yeah.
cried. I was so like anxious
Oh.
about performing it. I was like,
Oh.
it was it was a time, but
You know what? I'm gonna
it
be
it
that person. I love it when an artist cries on stage like after performing something that's original to them. To me, I'm
oh,
like, we have now connected. This is so I want you to
I was
keep
just
going
so
more.
embarrassed.
But
I don't
that's
think I think
part
I
of the
held it
appeal,
in.
I think.
I
That's part
guess.
of the I genuinely think that that's part of the audience appeal
Like I know you're not
because
wrong, but like that was
yeah.
still embarrassing for
Yeah,
me.
you can still be embarrassed, but us, the audience, we're gonna be having our light sticks, be like, "Woo!" And then it's just like, uh, protected,
Okay.
immediate.
And then I talked a little bit
Yeah.
already about like open mic things. So like I
Mm.
decided to go perform for normies and they invited me back. And then at that same event I got invited to perform with Also kind of friends, but at
Hmm.
like a totally non-idol, I don't want to say normie show, but like at an indie idol event, not
Hmm.
indie idol
Hmm.
event. Oh my God, an independent indie like music show,
Yeah.
like at that bar in New Jersey, and it's like, whoa, cool. So, it's nice to see like people that value what I can bring as an artist that especially like not knowing what idols or what I'm even singing half the time if it's a Japanese song, you know?
Yeah.
Um so I honestly kind of like that. I kind of want to do more local stuff even though I know like it's not going to grab the idol people. I'm like, well, as long as somebody likes it, like if they like it, hopefully, you know.
Hmm.
Um so I've been getting in that community more, and it's also nice not to
Nice.
feel like I have to travel to a convention here
Cons,
and a
yeah.
convention there. Like, it's not no shade to conventions. It's just conventions are a lot
They're
for anybody.
expensive too.
Yup. Like and like again, cons don't usually pay you either.
Nope.
Like shit, if a con had me as a guest, I'd be like, you don't need to pay me. Like just being a guest, like already an honor. Like I seriously will do this for free because I just love doing it. But
Yeah.
I'm not family friendly, so nobody wants it, I guess. So it's fine, whatever. Um, just put me in the middle of the drag show or something, like, whatever. If I need to do a little drag, like we can make it work. No, I've
Make
never
it
done
work.
drag. Yeah, watch
Oh
me
my
work.
gosh. That would be so fun. Either
Yeah.
drag or burlesque and then doing a full-on idol performance. Yo,
Yeah.
that would low-key high-key be iconic.
But I feel like if you don't know what an idol is, it might give the wrong perspective
It's
or
true.
impression. So I'm not saying it's bad, but I
No,
I
no,
could
but
see why some people would
it's
be like,
like
oh,
kind of going towards that people who are part of idol culture are trying to steer the general public's idea away from.
yeah, because it's not necessarily.
Yeah,
I love drag, I love burlesque, but it's not necessarily I think what most people would want to associate
with idols.
idols with.
Yeah.
And again, not saying they have to be family friendly, but
No,
I'm
but
not gonna
like
strip.
burlesque is burlesque.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do all that. I'll go see a burlesque show. I do not want to be a part of one personally.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, but no thanks. That's not it's just not for me personally. But no, I really enjoy a good cosplay burlesque show is always really fun. Like at a convention,
Mm.
I love going to those. They're so fun. They're
Yeah,
so creative
my
and
friends
like,
Summer and Kyle, they
mhm,
they put on nerdlesque shows at conventions. And they'll get
I
like
love
the
that.
local talent. My friend Summer's performance of Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, dressed as Isabelle from Animal Crossing, having
Oh
her
my God,
feminist
see, that's
rage moment. It's been living
perfect.
in my head rent free for the past almost 3 years.
And that's beautiful. I think
It's amazing.
I've seen like a definitely a rated 18 like burlesque
Mm.
and it was Tom Nook and you know how you know what a tanuki is and you know
Yeah,
what they
yeah,
got. So I was like, "Hey."
yeah.
So they did a
Hey.
they really emphasized that part of it and I was like,
Of
"Hey,
course.
yo." But it was so
That's so
so
smart.
funny and like I don't know, it feels like obviously it's 18 plus, but it has that feeling of like what masquerades kind of used to be
Yeah. The
when they were still like
campiness, you know.
skits. Yeah, it was so camp and now, well, it's different. I don't think it's bad different, but it is different.
It's a different type of atmosphere. We've gone from camp and like passion and just people doing whatever brings them joy to the need to have performances and anything in general be a bit more polished because there's just this huge chance that it's going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah.
And people are having more curated senses of image of self on the internet.
Also, like with like the rise of like dancing and like J music becoming more
Mhm.
popular, like a lot of the masquerade stuff is, I don't want to say basically idol stuff, but at least on like the East Coast, like there's a lot of acts that are applying that are basically doing dance covers from
Yeah.
like it used to just be Love Live because when it was like the only one, but like now we
Yeah.
have Project Sekai, we have just
Yeah.
old school Vocaloid coming back into
Mhm.
fashion. We have oh my God, there's Bandori, not that I see people do stuff from that or
Yeah, Bandori
Bang
kind
Dream.
of fizzled out. Review
Yeah.
is coming
Ra
back.
Is it coming
Review?
back? Oh, that makes me so happy because I feel like it has been fizzled out, but
Like it fizzled
Precure is
out, but it's
back.
making a
So,
comeback. I think they
Yeah.
might be like doing a stage show or something.
Precure is back.
Yeah.
Symphogear, I think one day will have its day where it comes back. There's so many different franchise. Oh, Hypnosis Mike, Idolish 7. I'm forgetting all the dude ones.
How dare
Ensemble
you?
Stars. So I'm sorry. I'll admit I'm not a big
The
fan of like
boys.
them boys. It's
That's
nothing
okay.
personal. Although I was a Uta pre girly for a little bit, but again, that's
Uma
when back when
Musume.
Oh my
Uma
God, yeah.
Musume Pretty Derby for all the horse girls.
Yeah, couldn't be me.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm not a horse girl.
it's okay. My
But
friends
yeah, there's so many
have put
things
me
now.
down this. Well, I will
Also,
say
even
there's some
K-pop
cool
too
stuff.
is
I love K-pop.
yeah, a lot of
I
people are
found
just
that
doing
there's
K-pop
a
routines in cosplay now. So,
yeah, and here's the reason why. Because I have gone down this whole I like analyzing things, right?
hmm
So, a majority of mainstream J-pop idol songs are very cutesy, very fun, and have this more wholesome type of high energy. While with a lot of current gens of K-pop groups, they're
mm.
doing more, not, I don't want to say sexy, but they're a bit more edgy and there's a bit more sex
More
appeal.
cunty.
Yeah. So you'll see a lot of people who are like younger. I'd say a majority of dance cover groups now that do the whole J-pop idol are inherently younger.
Mm.
And so they're, as any younger person will, when they're being like, Mom, you don't understand me. I'm an adult now. They're immediately going to go towards that more like edgy, more mature type of concepts. And
Right.
they're just going to need that time to expand and be like, ooh, I'm an adult. For me, I like K-pop. I love K-pop. I've been listening to it probably a bit longer than J-pop
Mm.
because Big Bang graced me, and I've been a VIP, never gone back. Bang, bang, bang. Do, 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 you know, and
Right.
but there's this a different type of music influence as well, which makes it a bit more easily accessible. K-pop is heavily derived from Western music as well as hip hop, and that's a big part of music
So true.
accessibility here in the West. J-pop is its own thing. There's no real base that I could equate it to because of its styling. And so
Right.
it's this weird deconstruction but then reconstruction of music analysis where it's a specific target audience and then they'll go through that and then I think eventually everyone will go back to where their base demographic is. They'll be like, all right, I'm going from the J-pop dance cover, we'll go to K-pop. If they're feeling spicy, they're gonna go to C-pop, and then eventually it'll
Ooh,
all travel back. They'll be like, oh, look, there was a collab with a K pop and a J pop group. And then they'll go back to J pop.
the
I've
circle of
recently been,
music.
yeah. Like, I've recently been getting a bit back into J pop because I found a Chica idol group called Lovesick, and they're really
Yes, I've heard of
cool.
them.
I love Lovesick. It's very difficult for me to get into male idol groups, but what's
hmm
cool about Lovesick is that one of their main vocalists is non-binary. They really play with gender fluidity
hmm
as well as their sense of queerness, which is so refreshing to see.
For sure.
And they're very fun songs, all of them. So cute, so wonderful. But yeah, I agree. We're seeing a lot more of the idol influence in masquerades. Here in Texas, there's been an issue with masquerades that everyone who's applying for like skits, it's just idol groups, just dance cover groups. So you end up
Yeah.
seeing people
The East
trying
is having the
to,
same thing where like
yeah,
nobody applies for skits. They all want to do
dance
dances
covers.
anyway. And I'm like, I mean,
So it's
just
like these
apply to
growing
yeah.
pains of the convention not understanding that it's a big element for some people. Like there is this demographic to market it towards, but also not understanding how to create that type of festival or
Yeah,
concert. And so then waiting for someone to step up and be like, I know how.
I
I know
know.
how
And
to run an
honestly,
event.
but even then, sometimes a convention doesn't want to invest in that. And I don't
Yeah.
necessarily mean invest in like the traditional sense. I mean,
Oh no, but
like
like
they don't want
you're
to
gonna
give
have to put
their
aside the
own
time
idol
slot. You're gonna
festival.
have to put
Yeah, they'll be
aside
like, "Oh, you want an idol thing? Here's one
scheduling.
hour." And I'm like,
Well,
okay, Masquerade 2.0 it is. And then even then,
yeah,
there's still people applying to Masquerade for the same thing because of one reason or another. And I'm like, well, now you have two idol events, so I guess
and
I
that's
win. But
direct
like,
competition, you know?
yeah, it's like I don't know. I understand that a small con honestly can't afford to do like a big separate idol event. I get that, but a lot of the people that are like passionate and are traveling and going out of their way to these cons want that, you know?
Yeah.
It's a niche, but it's a very loud niche, you know? And, you know, I just I've helped cons in the past try
Hmm.
to do it. And again, even then, a small con, again, they only have so many resources, like especially like a 1 day convention. Like I understand, you know, like you
You
can't maybe
have
even
limited resources for programming. You have limited time slots.
right. Like, do
You're
you
gonna want
accept less
to,
people, or do you
yeah,
like give everybody like 30 seconds on stage and try to accommodate as many people as possible because it's a convention and it's like not that deep. So, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I mean, personally, I don't think a lot of people that are just starting out can really properly put together more than like 90 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it's a con.
right.
Like, I know it's tough. Like, at a bigger convention, that's a different story. You know, I feel like at this point, I kind of expect like an idle track or some
Mm.
kind.
Hmm.
So, I feel like a bigger convention that's not taking the opportunity to do that, I don't know what you're doing, but
Yeah,
you're missing out. Truly, you know, because people will like travel to your con. You will sell an extra ticket that you would not have
yeah.
sold before. You know, it
See, I
is
think
viable.
it also becomes a catch 22 though, because at least here in Texas, what we see, because we have Texas Idol Festival,
Mhm.
but then also we'll have some of the smaller idol groups will apply to the conventions for an idol performance schedule, and then once they have that acceptance, they'll plan it and market it as a festival,
Right, and
and
then they
then
invite
have
other
others.
idols to it.
Yep, or have people audition. Like Size of Dreams is luckily I'm lucky enough to know and have performed with quite a few of them before, all wonderful people. But their primary motivation for doing these is so that then they can have their own festivals where they can put a spotlight on performers.
Right.
But
And I
then
think that's
if
actually
they
a
already which
good,
is wonderful, right?
right.
But then for the convention, it's this deal where now, okay, well, if we had wanted to try this out, there's not really a point if it's already happening.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Hallmat does, where they actually have several of those. I call them like fan-run idol festivals or
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
community-run idol festivals, and
I've
then their main
been.
stage one. And I think it's a really good way to like do both. Like have your like I don't want to be like your good one, you know, but like
Yeah.
again, the
You're
big
gonna have the
one,
big draw.
while you
It's
still
like
giving
Coachella. You're gonna have,
right,
or Warped Tour if you're old enough and know about it, you know? You're gonna have the
right,
smaller stages, but then you're gonna have the headliners.
right, and that
Most
way you're
people
still
will
giving
go for
people
the
the chance.
headliners.
But
Yeah.
you're still giving a chance to perform to other people, and then
Mm-hmm.
people that are like interested in that niche, they will go out and they
They'll
will show up.
go. Yeah.
So you're not taking away space. But, and like, I think honestly, conventions should be a little more proactive and actually just asking these people outright to be like, hey, you know, if you're interested, you know, obviously you have to vet your staff or whatever. You can't just like
Yeah,
have
for
anyone
sure.
do, but like, you know, if you see multiple years in a row this one group doing this thing, like, maybe consider hiring them, not even hiring them, because most
Yeah.
staff are volunteer anyway, as
Yeah.
somebody that can help you do this for your main stage, you know? And honestly, a lot of the people that do staff these actual convention idol shows are
Hmm.
just idols themselves that know
Yeah.
what it takes. And because of that, like it's not that we can't perform, but like, you know, personally, if whenever possible, I try not to perform in a show I'm running just because like to be fair, and I get other opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't need to take that, I guess. But it's like, you know, it's also stressful having to perform this at the same event you're like trying to
Right.
organize. Like, it's just a lot of work for
You
people.
got
And
stuff on the background going on. You want to be able to be there for the people behind the scenes. To
right, of
also
course.
be performing and being the MC, it's not viable. You're not going to
Yeah.
be able to give the audience the best performance that you could give. And
Right,
you're
of
not going to be
course.
able to be giving the performers that you have been able to accrue and get there. You're not going to be able to give them the proper support or the proper tools to succeed.
Right.
It's a one or the other kind of deal.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen people do both, and I'm like, you know what? Props to you. I don't think it's like unfair. I'm like, well, yeah, if you're not getting paid and you're running this festival, like, shit,
Hmm.
you know, you got to give
Yeah.
yourself something. So I get it. I don't
But
fault
also
anyone
the
for
I
doing it.
think
So,
people who are able to do that have they've got an entourage. And when I say entourage, I mean like they got a crew.
well, yeah,
They
they have
they
like
got a
additional
solid
support.
crew. so
Right.
important.
Yeah. Otakon does a really good job. They
Yeah.
have so many different tracks for performing, especially starting this year, even more
Oh
than
yeah.
before. And like, oh yeah, Otakon, like low key on the East Coast for
Hmm.
idols, that's where you want to be. Like, I guess Florida is, I don't consider Florida East Coast. I consider Florida like South, like,
Yeah.
especially
No,
culture
Florida's
wise.
totally south.
Yeah, especially like even convention culture wise, like it
Yeah.
lines up with Georgia. It lines up a little bit from what I know about Texas and, you know, down there, right?
Yeah.
I don't say South derogatory, just South in terms of like culture, but like
I
East Coast,
do.
LMAO. I mean,
Because I'm from the Northeast, so I can.
like fuck Florida, but I also was just in Florida not too long ago, so we
Yeah.
have a love. I have a love-hate relationship with Florida,
I think
so.
everyone has a love-hate relationship with Florida.
No, most people just have a
TBH.
hate relationship or a
Oh,
love.
okay.
That's what I think, at least in this area. I'm from New Jersey. Like we think we're the best state because we are, but like we think we're the best state and
You know what?
we don't give a
I'm gonna
shit
be
about anyone
nice.
else.
I'm gonna
You
be
don't have
nice,
to
and I'm
be.
not gonna make a comment about the New Jersey being the best state, but
You don't have to be nice. You could be
Papa.
mean, but I'll just clap right back. That's all. I will defend my homeland with my life. Unless it
We're
is
having
no
good
longer.
vibes. Dude, prices are wild in here.
I can't, yeah. Ugh. New
Oh my
Jersey, I feel like is
gosh.
not too bad, and I don't know how, but
I
and I
don't
got
know
my,
how it's New Jersey.
I don't know, man, and I got my Costco membership. Like I think I pay like 2.75 a
Mm,
gallon these days. Like that's pretty good compared to the rest of the
That's
country.
yeah, that's
Like,
real good.
and we have our own gas station attendant, so I don't even have to do it myself, and I pay 2.75. And we don't tip our gas attendants either. Nobody does that. So like. It's like
You
the
got a
one
lot of
service
trust.
worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's there not to trust? Well, what are they gonna do? Take my gas cap? Like for
You
what?
don't know. You don't
No.
know.
No, it's very low key. So like here's the thing though, because of that,
Mm.
gas stations like actually close. So like there's
Ooh.
no attendant. You cannot
Yeah.
fill up your tank. You have to find a 24-hour one, which are like not common in most parts. Like if you're on the highway, you'll find one because it's the highway.
Yeah.
People, you know what I mean? But like in this, you
In
know,
towns and
in
everything. Yeah,
towns
no.
and stuff, yeah, they are not. No, you got to get there before like 9 o'clock,
Oh my
and after
gosh.
9, like after 9 or 10, you usually can't get gas very easily. So
Whew.
so,
Oh
but wait, I don't
wow.
got to get out of the car.
You mean me, the person who enjoys getting out of my car to fill up my tank and mean mug everyone, would have to stay in the car
Why would
and
you
mean
enjoy
mug
doing
everyone?
that?
I'm from New York.
LMAO. I'm from New
It's very
York.
self it's very self-explanatory, man.
I'm
Like
walking here.
I'm
I'm
like I'm
from New
walking here. Like,
York.
hey, 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 hey,
Hey.
hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
Go get my bag.
gabagool,
Hey, hey.
gabagola.
You get your face on my bag and my bag and my face. Get
I
out of
was, I was
here.
gonna be like Tony Soprano, but I was like Tony
Tony.
Soprano's from New
New
Jersey.
Jersey.
It's the
The
same
same.
thing.
It's true though.
Yeah,
Hey,
get out of
get
here.
out of here.
I've unironically have had the thought like while outside of my I'll say my home territory. While
Yeah.
outside of my home territory, I've had the unironic thought of I'm walking in and I was like, "Oh my God, I really just thought that to myself." I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh, I
'Cause like
solidly, yeah, that is my mindset.
mhm.
I was just like, it leaves the state, right? Leaves New York State, moves to Texas. Initially, it was a bit of a maybe I'll fit in. And it's just like, what do you mean? Hey,
Like can't we
hey,
move a little
can you
faster
see? Go
here?
fast, go fast. Can you
We're
see
like
I'm walking?
Sonic.
Can't you see I'm walking? Everyone move, move, get out of my way.
Yeah. I don't know.
I ain't got time for your slow poke, slow motion around. Go.
I feel like in the Northeast, we're very cognizant of like the concept of personal space, especially in a
Yeah.
city that's as crowded as like New York City. Like,
Mm.
you know, being like I don't know, not like greeting other people and being rude is like polite because we're
Yeah.
respecting like your bubble and your space and your
Yeah.
time, you know? Like I don't want to have a conversation with you on this thing, you know? Like if there's a conversation to be had, that's different. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like but it's about the vibes. Like you could tell when
Yeah.
people
You
want
gotta
their space.
read. You gotta
Yeah.
read the body language. I think people down here aren't the best at reading body language.
I also feel like they tend to like, I don't know, how do
But
I
there's also
say this?
it's a different culture, you know?
They're
Different
not, yeah, they're
cultural
not as like
expectations.
they're not as worried about being in the way, like
Yeah.
physically. Like I'll be like, why are you standing right here? Like, can't you see that? Like, what go by the wall? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
to me,
You're
I'm
in the way.
naturally always trying to be respectful of like, am I in somebody's way? And some people are just not like that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you will please, like, I cannot move, so please move. Like, you can move. Ah! It's so frustrating. So,
For me,
and like,
it's so interesting though, because I work the people that I work with, a majority of them are from the Northeast. Like
hmm.
my direct boss is from Maine. So it's like all the Northeastern accent just draws out and we all play off each other's intenseness. Great work atmosphere.
LMAO.
Very aggressive, but in the most friendly of ways.
Yeah, it's like a hey, fuck you,
Hey,
but like, it's like
well,
that's
we
like
care
saying
about you. That's
hello.
for love. It's a
Like
love.
it's
Fuck you, dude.
like
Like,
like the
what the hell?
honesty is
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like, yeah, come here. But like,
Yeah.
it'd be weird if you weren't like being open and I don't know. It's a very different culture for sure.
Yeah.
Like even when I went down, I was in Atlanta at some point in my life for
Mm.
like 6 weeks. So, like I was basically living there for like a short period of time, and
Yeah.
oh my God. Like in some ways people are like so polite and in other ways they're so rude. It's
Yeah.
so different. And like maybe I guess I'm specifically can only talk about Atlanta because like I've been to
Mm.
other places in Georgia where it wasn't quite the same. But like man, Atlanta's something else. I just was not I don't know. I had a
I don't
bad
know.
time there
Atlanta.
regardless, but
I don't know if I'll ever. I've gone to Atlanta a few times. I've never had the best of experiences there. I'm gonna be real.
yeah.
I think there's
I
something
mean,
in the air. There's
if you
something in
like
the air.
it, if that's your vibe,
Go
that's your
for it.
community, well,
All
love that
you,
for you.
man. Yeah.
Like the food, excellent food.
Excellent food.
I've had like I don't know, like in like bus drivers. Okay, here's something different. Bus driver in New York, if you got
Yeah.
like a crackhead on the bus, everyone's just
Oh.
ignoring the crackhead. We
Yeah.
just don't pay no mind because we're in our little bubble. We don't care.
Yeah.
Now in Atlanta, crackhead gets on the bus. The bus driver kicks the crackhead off the bus, and then people clap. I'm like, whoa. I mean, thanks, but like, whoa.
Like that's wild. You're
I was
wild.
cool.
That's a lot.
I was just gonna ignore the guy. Like I really wasn't gonna, I wasn't really. But like, thank you. That's so inadvertently polite. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like in New York, it would have been like, this is a waste of my time. Like, let's just go. Like
I
stopping
got a
to do something
schedule.
like that
I
would have
got a
been like,
schedule here.
yeah, it's because you got places to go, you got people to see, and like respecting the schedule and respecting the time limit. Not that the subway ever does that, but like whatever.
Yeah.
It's part of
The
the
subway's the
culture.
subway. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Ah,
understand. You
yeah.
understand the culture.
I do. Traveling, that's why
Ah.
traveling is important. I know traveling is only so accessible to people when we live in an economy, but like,
Mm-hmm.
seeing firsthand specifically how other cultures are, even within your own country, are super,
Yep.
super important. And like I said, you don't gotta like every culture. Like I said, like
Oh.
Savannah, Georgia, love that place. Everyone's just drunk. It's amazing. It's great. Like the town is all set up like neat little squares. It's beautiful. Love Savannah.
Yeah.
But,
Like for something that I tell a lot of people when I say I'm from New York, I immediately say I'm from upstate New York. And
right,
people
because
are
people
like,
will just think the
"What
city.
city?" And I'm like, "New York is a state." And that's how you know I'm from New York. We're very passionate about the fact that there is more than just the city.
Mm.
And I'm from, when I say upstate, I mean more like mid upstate. I'm not
Oh,
from like the
so
Appalachian.
downstate. That's what I call downstate. Like the thing, like anything like south of the Catskills, I call that
Yeah.
downstate New York.
Yeah, technically I'd be from downstate then. I was
Like
like, what,
Westchester,
30?
Poughkeepsie,
Yeah,
the
I'm from
Finger Lakes.
Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, that's downstate New
Hey.
York, honey. That's such
Hey, hey, hey,
downstate New
hey, hey.
York. But I
Hey,
know what you mean. Like in the grand
hey.
scheme of things, you have NYC and quote unquote upstate New York, even though that is like downstate New York.
It's easier for the non-New Yorkers to understand, all right? Like,
It
we
is, but
give them what
still.
we can.
Now, what are you gonna do about
What
it?
are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do about
Nothing. That's right, nothing.
it?
You can't handle me. Can't handle me. But even like the difference of downstate New York, right?
Yeah,
Different areas,
downstate and upstate are
Poughkeepsie,
very different.
very different. And you can even hear it in the accents.
Yep.
Very different. Culture is so cool. Everyone should even, you know what? I'd argue, even try and do a little day trip to a city that's like maybe 2 hours away.
Yeah, if you're in a
If
big
you can
state
make
like
it work,
Texas, that's what
yep,
you gotta do, you
yep.
know? But even
Haha,
within
wrong.
Texas, there's
You got to do like a 3 to 5 hour drive. Ha ha ha. You didn't see that
damn,
coming.
sorry, but
Oh, it's
still, like,
horrible.
I mean, but like again, like San Antonio has its own thing, Dallas has
Yep.
its own thing, Houston has its own thing, Austin has its own thing.
Hmm.
Like, not that I know, I haven't been to any of these places, but
I've
like,
been to all of them. And
also,
then we
so
got Galveston, Port A. We got it all.
you know, this is a really weird tangent, but like when I was a kid, I read this book about a hurricane that happened in
Uh,
Galveston. So I
uh,
only associate Galveston with this hurricane that happened over 100 years ago that I read a book about when I was in like grade school. Like one of those
oh,
like
that's
chapter
rough.
books. And it
Yeah.
was like really traumatizing for me as like a 6-year-old seeing all these like they even included pictures of houses getting destroyed and I was like, that's so sad. Oh my God. And then the girl, her they described how her home was like torn to shreds
Oh my
and that's
gosh.
I know. You know, I still have this book, but yeah,
Oh,
it was
really?
called, it was called Stolen by the Sea, and
Wait,
it
I think
was.
I've heard of this book.
So now I only associate Galveston with this like very specific book. Let me look this up now.
Yeah.
Because her house was stolen by the sea. I was like, damn,
Oh!
that's crazy.
No, yeah. To be fair, Galveston, like anywhere along the coast, is this wild, like 50-50 on if you feel like you're gonna get shanked or not.
Mm,
Because they're coastal towns, right? And because they're on the coast and they're right next to the beach, it's where all the college kids go for spring break and where all the tourists go because
mm,
Texas is so large of a state, but also everything is so landlocked that if you want to go to the beach and make sure that it's financially feasible for you, you go to the coast. You go to Port Aransas, you go to Galveston, you go to Corpus. If you want to have more nature focus, you go to Port A and then visit Mustang Island, you know? But because they've become the equivalent of tourist towns, they're they're always like really having to be on the weather, and if there's inclement weather, you know, they're not going to be get able to get that income. So it's a very
yeah.
interesting type culture down there. Oh, you
I
sent me
yeah,
a
I found the
Discord.
book.
You found it? Oh.
I found the book.
Whoa. Oh, wait. Wait. Okay. Okay. It's on Goodreads. Stolen by the Sea. Oh my gosh. Hey, the person's name's Maggie. That's my name.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa!
Man.
Yeah, this book was traumatizing. I was like, this poor girl.
Therapist.
She got left
Yes.
behind. Like, oh my God. It really
It's
stuck with
American
me.
Girl on crack,
I know. I had to keep the book.
as you
Can't
should.
I can't get rid of it. I don't know. It's so because like what else am I gonna find this again? So yes, I only associate Galveston with this book and that hurricane.
Sad. But no, it's okay. You don't have to. I have now come to associate the coast with the reggae band era. So it's
Oh
always a
man.
very strange time. Well, it was a cool thing because I actually talked to my friend Summer once and they were like, you should do a counter, like a drinking game where anytime you reference your reggae era. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
oh, yeah, I do bring it up a lot, don't I? But it was an
I think you've
interesting
brought it
time
up like
because,
three
yeah,
times in this
it's
interview
so,
so far.
exactly. So, because it's so much about with my evolution of music
Mm.
and my music journey. But yeah, we would do like like beach festivals over there. So I'll go now and I'd be like, "Oh, look, we played music over there." And now I'm over here. How cool. The beach is still dirty as ever. Wonderful. We made no difference with that beach cleanup.
Oh man.
Yep, yep, it gets sad very quickly. I do like beach. Do you like beach?
I have the Jersey Shore. Of course, I love the
Of
beach.
course you love beach.
I'll be at Seaside Heights and Asbury Park and shit. So, yeah, I
How
like
much of an
beach.
impact do you think Jersey Shore had on You as a young.
I mean, people, I think, either think it's genuinely like that, like still, and like honestly, it might have genuinely been like that if it wasn't for, funny enough, a giant hurricane that like destroyed the specific area that
Yep.
Jersey Shore takes place in. So, look up the Hurricane Sandy
Yep. Hurricane Sandy.
2012 era, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
2012, I want to say. The boardwalk in that specific area has since been rebuilt, and
Oh.
they're working on making it more family friendly, but it is definitely like where high
Oh.
schoolers, but it's still definitely where high schoolers go for like prom weekend. It
Yeah.
definitely it's not really there. It's not really there, but it's safer. It's safer. I wouldn't say more family friendly, but like it's a little safer than it was, I think, in the Jersey Shore era days. Because again, the entire boardwalk is like new now, so
Yeah.
because it wasn't there at one point. But like,
Wow.
I don't know. I think some people are like, "Oh, it's not like that," or some people are on the other end of the spectrum. They're like, "Wait, it's based off a real place? Like that's a real town that it was in?" Like I feel I get some different things on it, but I think most people don't care.
Yeah.
People are just like, I feel like in culturally it's so irrelevant to us now than it was 10 years
Mm.
ago.
Oh
And
yeah.
10 years ago, I wasn't a child 10 years ago, but not old enough to be watching the Jersey Shore, that's for sure.
Oh, I watched this Jersey Shore.
Well, we are not the same age, no
I know.
offense.
I remembered that as soon as you said that. I was like, oh, oh yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
Oh,
that's why I'm not the best person to comment on it. As
that's
somebody like
okay.
10 years older than me, maybe
What?
5 years older than me.
Okay. I'll take it. Me. Wait.
No,
This makes me sound very bad.
no,
Ain't no
no, it's
crate.
fine.
I ain't no cradle snatcher for my interview
No,
people.
my God, we're all
I
adults
only ch
here.
I only choose the people that I like. I'm like they are a vibe. They're
I
cool
hate
people.
kids, LMAO. So,
A vibe for real.
do you have any other questions for me as an
Hmm.
idoloo?
As an idol, what are your upcoming things? What would you like to promote?
Oh
What would you
man,
like
what?
people to come to?
Oh my
Because you
God,
have
at the,
so much.
I
You
know.
won't have time to sleep.
I always make time for sleep. I love a good nappy. Love my nap time.
You can sleep when you're dead. Now be a musician.
Okay. Okay, okay, so at the time of recording this, here's what I have coming up. So, on February 14th, that is Valentine's Day, if you are lonely and have a broken heart, watch Yabaidaru's Broken Hearts live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. I submitted a video for that of me singing a song that would be, I think, very on theme for that. So,
Oh.
and it'll be my first, I guess, video of me singing this song out there. So, um,
Mhm.
I will be performing that song and many others at Katsucon in National Harbor, Maryland. I have a
Yeah.
30-minute set on
Sugoi.
the Saturday of the convention at 8:30 p.m. on the Cherry Blossom stage, which is the community stage. It is opposite of the gazebo. You will see a bunch of people taking photos there. You just gotta walk
Whoa,
past them.
you scored set like across from the gazebo? Man, you made it.
The whole stage is across from the zoo. So yeah, yeah, sure. I made it.
You made
Whatever.
it.
Tee hee hee. So I'm excited. I'll be doing 30 minutes there. Last act on Saturday, so pretty neat, pretty cool if I do say so myself.
Hmm.
Then February 22nd, I technically have two events going on.
Ooh.
I'll be performing at a bar in New Jersey in a show. It's called The Freak Show,
Ooh.
Volume 2. So, second annual. It is not an idol show, but I will have a whopping 45-minute set on that stage. Tickets can be bought online. Check my Insta, check my website for ticket link. It's 12 in advance, 15 at the door. So if you want to see me for cheap outside of a con and you're local to the New Jersey area, come check it out. It'll be cool. You could just come see me and then like F off. I'm sure there will be people coming to see the other acts and then effing off. So like, it's okay. I need a couple people do that for me too. So
Of course, of
no,
course.
But yeah, but I know two of the four total acts that will be there, and
Mm-hmm.
the other two people are also great musicians, even though it's not idol music or J-pop or anything like that. So, if you just like independent music and you want to support that, please come check it out. Super cool. On that same night, I will be in the Idol Topsy Turvy virtual event. It is a
Ooh.
virtual idol event that is about idols doing non-idol songs with an idol twist. So you'll
Ooh.
hear a lot of songs that you wouldn't normally hear an idol maybe perform.
Mm.
I of course am doing a Paramore song for that.
Ooh, which one? Which one?
It's Ignorance. I know.
Oh, oh.
And
I
on
can
I'll
see
be
where this could go. Okay,
I
okay,
know
okay.
I'm actually recording the video like tomorrow. I need to edit it so fast. I know. I hope I get it, but like I'm doing it's fully choreographed. I sung it myself. I tried mixing it myself. It's not a good mix, but I'm
Mm.
so tired of listening to myself sing that I can't fucking take it anymore. So
Hey, yo,
I'm not.
quick.
Oh, and then streaming wise, my next
Mhm.
stream not fully confirmed yet, but I believe I'm gonna stream on Thursday the 27th. I'm gonna do a watch party for my Techo performance from last July. I know,
Oh,
literally half a year ago, but like, I don't care. I could do whatever the fuck I want, right?
that's
So
right.
the video is there, so you could just watch it right now. But what I like to do with all my old performances
Mm-hmm.
is I watch it and I cringe at myself on stream, and like
Mm.
I'll add commentary about like what I was going through at that time or like what I was thinking and
Yeah.
like things like that. I think it's fun. It's the only kind of
Yeah.
streaming I really do, and I think they're fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're like short. Oh my God, who bought some? Oh my God, someone bought a checky from me. Let's fucking
Yeah.
go. Okay,
Woo.
sorry. I saw
That's
the big
okay.
cartel notification on my phone and I was like, I got money.
Woo. Let's
Oh.
go.
Because yeah. And then March, no plans right now. I
Mm-hmm.
might do a local New Jersey show in March, but that's it. March is surprisingly pretty quiet. I expected March to be busier than February, but this year that's just not what happened, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, April, and yes, I do be thinking ahead. March, I'll probably just take the time to work on like that fan requested cover, that I was talking about earlier, and I'll probably record finally the vocals for my second single. Um,
Oh.
I don't think I'll premiere my second single at KatsuCon,
Mm.
just because I was sick and I'm crunching a lot of things, as you could tell. But I think I'll record the vocals for that in March, finally. It's written and the instrumental's done. Lyrics are there. I just need to record my singing and the harmonies, and then it can get mixed, and then we're good.
Do we
But
have an estimated
yes, we have a release date.
release?
It is going to
Oh.
be a July 4th release because it is
Ooh.
a anti-America anthem.
Don't want to be an American idiot like
Stop, don't
that.
talk to me about Green Day. No, a little bit more anti-capitalism than anti,
Ooh.
yeah. But like also like idol culture is so rooted in marketability and
It's
capitalism,
true. It's
and it's about
true.
the dichotomy of that, and
Mm.
also about like I want to follow my dreams, but like I need to eat dinner and pay rent too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like, and it almost talks about how like I don't want to be a full-time idol.
Mm.
There's a few different themes going on in there, but it's very anti-capitalism. A title, I guess I'll drop the title. It's gonna be called "Living the Dream." Like, when you talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh,
Ooh.
living the dream." You know what I mean? And you're like, "Oh God, are you okay?" Like,
No,
that's what it's
never.
called. Live in the, not living. There's no G. Live
Living.
in the dream. Yeah, so that's what it's called.
Oh, that
And
sounds cool.
I feel like people are not ready for it to be as real as it is because it's even more like, oh shit, this is so real than I think enough
Yeah.
is just because of the themes it covers.
I'm looking
Um,
forward to it. That sounds
yeah,
like it'll be killer.
I think, yeah, you'll like it. I know the people that fuck with my stuff will love it. And if you're
Yeah.
already kind of like not fucking with my stuff, you will fuck with me even less after this. And you know what? That's okay.
It's
You don't have to.
okay.
But if you don't want to really analyze yourself about the role you play in society, like you're not gonna like this song. So, Oh, and a Japanese version of Enough, as well as a Otage version of Enough, is coming out. My CD
Sugoi.
should be out for purchase by sometime in March, because again, I have to record and mix stuff that I've been putting off because I have been sick. So,
Sugoi na.
pre-orders are already closed, but I will be burning the CDs myself by hand.
Whoa.
So, yep. And the Otage version and instrumental will be exclusive to the physical CD. So,
Ooh.
if you want the fan chant, you gotta buy the
Exclusives.
CD. Now, if someone posts it on
Oh.
YouTube after that, then there's nothing I can do. But,
Hey, unless MS Paint Palette does it.
yeah, I might do it myself. Fuck, I don't know yet. I
There's a
feel like.
difference. The difference of intent.
So yeah, I have so much coming up this month that like I don't have time to work on all these other projects that I want to release sooner
Hmm.
than later, but
Yeah.
I know I have time. I just need to like once I'm really fully better and like the cough is fully gone
Yeah.
and a lot of my Katsukan stuff is done, I'll really be able to lock the fuck in.
Hmm.
So, because I miss it. I miss like being able to go in my closet and record shit and then go, fuck, that sounded awful, and then give up and try again later. But yeah, I kind of miss
Yeah.
it. I kind of miss it. Because I've been doing a lot of dancing for this virtual idol showcase, and I'm like,
Mm.
I'm tired of this. I don't want to dance anymore. I have asthma. Yo, by the way, like I don't dance
That's
a
so
lot in my
fun.
sets. I try to have
Mm.
like good stage presence. I try to move around. I try to put some kind of choreography in there, but man, I love just
Asthma.
standing and singing. I got to admit, I love to perform, but I love not performing and just like really
Yeah.
focusing on the singing in a
The art
live
of it.
setting.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the art of knowing like how I'm gonna make each little note that comes up sound and like how
Mm.
my mouth is shaped. Like, oh, I love it, but
Oh.
it's not very idle. So
Yes, it is.
I have to, well,
Idol can be whatever you want. It's a
I
performance art.
Yeah, but I feel like that standing and singing is one of the things I'll be like not the most idle, you know? I think you got to do a little mix. You got to I don't know, as long as you I guess can
You gotta
grab
sell
people's
it.
attention and sell it. Yeah. So I try not to literally stand there like the emoji, but like, you know, you know what I mean? I don't
No,
mean
I've seen
literally.
I've seen recordings of your performances. You do a great job of
Oh, okay. Thanks.
interspersing the two of them.
Thank you.
And I found that when you do stand and focus just on vocals, it's with intent and it brings an
Yeah.
extra power to the delivery.
Mm.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thanks. That means a lot to me. It's really nice to hear from other people in the community that they enjoy and appreciate my work, both like in a strictly performing skill sense and in an artistic, like my music sense. It's really nice. It helps me keep going a little bit,
Yeah.
keeps me from going, fuck this shit, I quit, because I
Yeah.
think about doing that like once a week, like I swear to
Hmm.
God. But I really try to stick with it for my own mental health. Like I'll get stressed over things, but the stress I feel over like, oh my God, I have to do this and this is nowhere near like the kind of stress I get when I'm like bored and unengaged, and this kind of
Yeah.
keeps me on my toes a little bit. So
Yeah, for sure.
I always find something that I could improve upon, and I feel like I'm getting better and better with every performance, and that's really nice. So, yeah.
You're doing a great job, and personally, I can't wait to see where you go next. This has been the Bunniichii Corner podcast. MS Paint Palette, thank you so much for talking and yapping. Appreciate it. It is now very
Thanks
late
for
where you
having
are.
me. I'm a night
Everyone
owl.
who everyone who has listened over the cuffs, please go follow MS Paint Palette. I will have all things available both in description as well as whatever I'm doing with my hands here that you cannot see. It's in an area. If you are in New Jersey, please go support, interact, continue to support MS Paint Palette's Kaigai Idol journey. And thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Goodbye.